Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
Oh, boy.
Why are you so tired
Nah,
today?
working stuff. I don't know. Stuff is going on in Texas. The shooting. That's it's like a horrible business, and it's just like idiots just don't want to make any changes. So it's going to keep happening, and it's going to be like normalized. So, well, not now, but I think it already has been.
Yeah, normalized in the sense that it's not normal, but it's, I guess, desensitized because it happens so much, and we're like, oh, not another one,
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like what? Thoughts and prayers? Okay. What's good is that? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I do, and we do, but that's not a solution. I mean, we don't accept that in any other important area of our lives, but when it comes to actually kids getting murdered, then that's what we do. So, I guess that's what we do. So, yeah. Sorry to start off on a bummer, but that's what's going on right now. So, and I know a lot of you guys have parents who are parents out there, and you have kids, and I know you're feeling it. So, yeah, our thoughts go out to you too. But just like, just the last month, there's been like three
that's
big
reported.
ones. Three that's reported, right?
Yeah.
Like a mass shooting they only count if it's like 4 more people. So which is weird, right? Like if you shoot 3 people, then it's not a mass shooting.
That's weird.
And then we're like, the United States is, just with school shootings, if you just want to take that, we're like 66th over all other nations combined. So if you are you know how we did those big stories about, how girls in like, fundamentalist Islamic countries would get killed, and their families would get killed if they went to school or if they tried to teach them to read. Well, there's nothing on us.
Oh, is 66 counting those countries?
Every country.
Okay.
Every country in the world.
Yeah.
Times 66 is us. That's just schools. We have it happen so often that we just have a separate category for school shootings.
Yeah.
That's even a subset of our mass shootings.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. So
Scary.
Yeah, it's like scary. It's like it's like, okay, Kerr, it was Coach Kerr.
Steve Kerr was really upset.
Well, I mean, he's the only one who said what. And it's weird because he's a basketball coach.
Yeah.
But like, he's the only one that said what actually needed to be said. And it's like, even like hardcore, like, and it's not even a thing of right and left. It's just apathy,
Well, so. I think I saw something. I didn't watch it further because I always have my phone on mute. But I saw, like, I think Abbott was yelling at Beto.
Well, they were yelling at each other. I didn't read.
Something. Yeah.
I don't care because that's the theater, right? Like, do something,
Yeah. Well, Beto came in and yelled at him, said, "This is all your fault," or something, and then he yelled back, and then the police came and walked Beto out of the auditorium or something.
Yeah, whatever. Because what's he gonna do? Run? And then what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
It's Democrats haven't done anything because the thing is that establishment Democrats, if they push too hard, they're always worried that there could be a backlash and then we could lose our seats. Well, yeah. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what it takes.
That's what leadership is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All this stuff, and it kind of puts things in perspective because all the stuff that not used to, but like just weeks ago, like would criticize JPEG for, that really only affects me having fun, right? Our actual leaders that are supposed to be leaders, quote unquote leaders, like they're way worse. I think Chapek would do a better job on this issue if he was in charge of the country. That's what's sad, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. At least I can say I don't think he could do worse. So, you know, and by the way, I'm a gun owner. I'm not an anti-gun guy. You know what I mean? So this isn't somebody who's like, oh my God, I'm anti-gun. You can go boom and scare me. No.
Take away all the guns. No.
That's not me.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, would I be willing to go through an extra step if I'm probably never buy a new gun, but if I needed to, or
you do anyways, right? In California, you do.
There's a few extra steps, yeah. But whatever restrictions that I need, you know, to save one kid, I would do it. I don't think that's encroaching upon my freedoms. You know what I mean?
But some people think that that's what I said. That's what we said when we, after 9/11, where we said, go ahead and search me, go ahead and scan me through the airport, if that's what's necessary to protect, give away some of my freedom to protect. So this is kind of like what they're saying on that other.
No, extreme. I mean the principle's the same.
Yeah.
But the mathematics are different, right?
Yeah.
So that's
of course.
So if we were having a 9/11 like every other month, then I could understand, you know, strip search everybody at the airport, you know, whatever, right?
Right.
But like we're having like mass shootings, you know, literally probably every week. We just don't hear about the big ones. I mean the small ones. Yeah. So I don't know. That's my take, you know. And I'm usually the one that's kind of like, we're not get political. Calm down, Tracey. But like, it's more, I guess when it comes to like, and I don't even have kids, but all my friends, all cousins, everybody I know has kids, you know. And it's not that that's somehow, you know, different than like, you know, black people getting shot up in a grocery store, you know, Taiwanese people getting shot up in a church. I'm not saying that, you know, this just is an unfortunate kind of like cap to the month, you know. It's just like, and now we're going to end it with kids, you know, and you know, it's like, all right. So I don't know, but
why not go through that extra? But if everyone's willing to go through the extra step like you to own a gun, we wouldn't have this conversation, I guess. You know.
Well, I mean, even the background. I mean, again, here's the thing, and I get the issue of the counter argument's going to be like, okay, all the stuff that's like on deck that you could vote on, even the stuff that like Steve Kerr said, probably wouldn't have stopped this guy. If this guy has no criminal history, he's 18 years old. Then even if the law that he's talking about, the extra background check would have passed, he probably would have passed that background check, right? But even if it delayed him a day, you know what I mean? Maybe his grandfather said, I didn't know he had guns. Maybe his grandfather sees the guns, he freaks out and is like, okay, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean?
His grandfather's still alive? So this is the spouse of the grandmother he shot?
Yeah. Oh. Well, I'm assuming. He lived with them. So I'm assuming. Yeah. So like it's kind of like the COVID thing. It's like there's no one law that's going to stop anything.
Yeah. But
you chip away at things.
Yes.
Percentage by if it helps 1%, okay, I'll take that. You know, and then something else might help 2%, and then something else might help 0.5%. You know, and if we could cut it, if we could get to where we have like 2 mass shootings a year, unfortunately, that would be a huge success. As sick as that is, that would be a huge success.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know.
No.
So, anyway, you know, for the one listener that's left, they listen to us to get cheered up. But hey, we're being real. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm usually
the one that's like, "Rah!" But today you're all, "Rah!"
Yeah.
I think I just gave up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know. There's always like kind of a reckoning. Unfortunately, it ends up with like it affects somebody else, and it has to be a number to where we get to a point to where everybody's like, okay, that's enough. So There has to be enough of mass shootings to where everybody has somebody in their family that was killed. Or that's probably what's going to change it. You know.
But the people in power wouldn't have anyone.
Well, the people in power are going to do what
That's
they're
what
told.
I'm saying. Like, how is it?
You know, they lay in the cut until they have an absolute mandate. It's like you can't wait till you have a 95% approval rating on a particular issue to do something. Like if you really believe in something, even if you have like 10%, you should go for it. If that's your true belief, right?
But there were people dying in hospitals, overwhelmed and overworked, and nothing still was done. So it
was, you know, stuff was done. You know,
in certain states.
Yeah, you might not say enough was done, but something
Right.
was done.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But that's
it's an uphill
and
battle.
it's not. I'm not even saying it's a Republican Democrat thing. It's you have one group that says, well, you know, this is what we believe our constituents want, and then another group that says, well, we don't want to lose our office in case we're wrong.
We don't want to push too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we like our seats more than we like your lives. To me, I actually respect the people who are pro-gun more. And the reason I say that is because if you honestly believe that you should not touch the Second Amendment at all, and you should not even even breathe on it hard, and that's your belief, at least you're sticking up for a principle that I disagree with, but at least that's a principle. Somebody who doesn't believe in that but does nothing, to me, is a worse person. That's the same thing I said about Chapek. You know, but that's, you know, but yeah, we need a little magic cut.
Well, even the match got cut short.
I know. Yeah. So, yeah, we had a pretty decent weekend. Well, we still have a giveaway. I'll talk about that. It's our last weekend for that.
Yes. The backpack.
The first order backpack and
that I will be
the
sporting,
collectible key.
But I'll be sporting a duplicate.
Yeah, so Friday we'll be at Star Wars Celebration. And we are recording this early because we're probably going to leave early tomorrow, Thursday. And that's when we usually record. So, and that's also, we're right like the day after the shooting. So it's that's probably what I just went into it because, you know, I haven't gotten over it yet because usually it takes a few days to get over a mass shooting. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. That's how we are. But, yeah. So we're recording this a little early, and then we will be at Star Wars Celebration, and the backpack that we are giving away, Tracey will be sporting the other one that she took for herself. So it is a convertible first order backpack and collectible May the 4th key, Darth Vader themed. And all you have to do is direct message us or email us at info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. And if you direct message us, you can do it through Facebook or Instagram. And if you do all three, you get 3 entries. If you drop a blog post on it, I'll give you 4 entries. There's not a lot of people I don't think has entered this particular one.
No.
I haven't looked, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it. I saw some familiar faces, but not too many people. So you have a good chance. So you have until Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to answer this question. Who is your favorite Star Wars character?
We got some good ones.
Yeah, some pretty unique answers. Well, not unique answers, but answers I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So some deep cuts.
Deep cuts.
Deep cuts, yeah. So, yeah, you can win this. And then what's funny is that, well, I'll talk about this in a second, but you can win the wallet giveaway that we're giving away.
Oh, yeah.
At Star Wars Celebration if you see us, because we're going to still bring
Friday.
the wallet. That's Friday, the 27th.
We'll be hanging out at the hotel.
I'm not going to
Thursday
post
night,
anything
but,
because it's not a Disney trip. But if you happen to see us, hey, fair game.
Otherwise, Dole Whip Float is going to fly a drone over us to find us herself.
So for the wallet giveaway, that is a weird one. Because I totally pulled out. Well, I didn't pull out all the stops, but so I talked to Chris from Provost when we were at Disneyland the time before. Mm-hmm. Told him about our challenge that we've been having. He's like, "Well, yeah, take the picture with me, and then I'll share it. Talk about the wallet, and they have almost on Instagram. They have almost 36,000 followers.
All 36,000 of you didn't find us."
Because I was just thinking it was like, oh, maybe we're just too small of a reach.
Yeah.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
But we still see, there's still people that are there always telling us that they're there, But
yeah, we did have some people say, "Oh, I'll be there. I'll be sure to look for you." But then when you get caught up in the moment of enjoying the parks,
I don't expect to be somebody's priority when they're at
Let me get that
Disneyland,
wallet.
especially people who don't go all the time.
Yeah.
I think we looked, and that's another thing with Magic Key holders. When we used to go, people were annual pass holders. They're not they will make you the priority because they're there all the time. But now with the reservation system, they might go. Even people who go a lot, it's like once every other month.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, hey man, I gotta stand in line. Genie Plus says I gotta be over here. So I'm sorry.
I gotta make that dining res to watch World of Color.
Yeah. But yeah, even with the great Provost, it was a failure. So
even one of the cast members shared our post.
Yeah, we got cast members sharing our stuff. Still, nada. So, but we're gonna keep at it. We'll keep it. And again, you guys aren't going to see the new prizes until one of you guys comes and snatches it. So it is what it is. I don't know if the wallet will eventually melt in Tracey's backpack, but no, I think it's good material, and we still got the foam and everything on it. It's still wrapped. So, all right, we will see. We will journey on, soldier on. All right, so. Let's talk about our day.
So it was the first grad night.
Tracey hates teenagers.
I don't hate them.
That's what you were saying all day.
I'm sure there's some teenagers, people who have teenagers. And I don't hate them. I just think they're annoying. At the parks,
if you say something's annoying three or more times in one day, you hate them.
Well, the thing is, okay, first, these groups of girls in the Haunted Mansion, and they kept hitting my backpack. So I'm like, so then I squished them.
Squished them?
Well, I stepped back so that, kind of hey.
But they said, excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, that was the old lady who's the mom.
Oh.
She didn't even do anything. She just brushed me a little. Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, oh no, you're fine. I was like, it's them. Just kidding. I didn't say that. But anyways, so they were stepping on me, not stepping on me, keep hitting my backpack because they couldn't stand still. They're just I don't know. They can't stand still.
Teenage energy.
Stand still. It's dark in here. And then they kept saying the F-bomb. And I'm like, dude, there's little kids here. I don't care if you're scared. It's the Haunted Mansion. And, F this, F that, and all this. And I was like, oh my gosh. So.
Boomer.
I know. I do sound like a boomer. But they were annoying. Even the cast members looked exhausted by 7 p.m. And it hasn't even started yet because they're there all day. And then 8 p.m. is the real grad night or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the cast members were all exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt bad for them.
Because we got your shirt embroidered and we went to embroidery place and they were and then asking the cast member for this and that. And I'm like, dude, all you're putting there is class of 2022. That's all. Just pick a hat, tell the cast member what you want to put and leave. Don't stand around and Instagram or whatever. I know I sound like a total boomer, and I felt like one because I was so annoyed at them.
Yeah. Well, nah. I mean, here's the thing. I think it has changed a little bit, but I think it's not changed in a way of like, oh, we were so much better than those kids. At least me, because
we didn't have Instagram to be obnoxious.
Yeah, but kids when I was in high school, like our language was better. We didn't curse in public in front of adults and little kids and stuff. But as far as our behavior, we were much worse. Like we were like shoplifting. And I'm not even talking like hood kids.
That's fine.
I'm talking like middle class kids.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, because you don't see it. But I'm not saying that. I think these kids are like better behaved overall. It's just that
they're not like drug addicts or shoplifters or anything. I mean,
there's a percentage of the population is, but I'm saying no. What I'm saying is that the kids that I was hanging out with were like upper middle class kids, like in Mission Viejo, and they were bad. They were like really bad kids, and their parents were like attorneys and stuff. You know what I mean? And one of them's parents like owned a chain of restaurant. I mean, they were like pretty well-to-do kids, and they were bad. And but in front of adults, in front of everyone who would who had authority, it was always no sir, yes ma'am. They were very they knew the game.
Yeah.
I think these kids are more free with how they act, but the extreme of what they do is not bad.
And it could be the pent up lockdown, and now they're free to go out, and then they're like like that.
Yeah, imagine being like so. If they're 18 now, imagine like being like 15 to 18. You're pretty much locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we never had that. I mean, we even had more freedom than they did now. We were running all over the place.
Yeah, we ran outside and played outside. And
in Atlanta, we were on the subways at like 8. On MARTA, just zipping around the entire
just
city.
On what, Twitch or whatever?
I know. Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah, their socialization might not be as good, but I think their overall behavior is probably better than our generation. I don't have anything to prove
they're
it,
more
but
hyper.
Yeah, they're more they're easily stimulated.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like but when you talk to them or when you say excuse me, they'll be like, oh, sorry. I mean, when you address them, they're fine. It's just when they just don't think anyone else is there.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of like the internet age, right?
Yeah.
Like they're so used to doing most of their socialization in a room by themselves that then when they're in public, they don't realize that there's other people.
Yeah.
They honestly don't think that. They're just like, oh, like I'm talking to my friend here. It's the same as if they're talking over like chat, or like, playing like Call of Duty or something, like it's because whatever they say on there doesn't affect anyone.
Yeah.
So when they actually meet physically, they don't know how to moderate their behavior.
Yeah.
But they're probably good kids, I guess is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm assuming most of them are graduating high school. That's why they were there. That's why they were there. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they were not seniors, like younger, they'd be even more obnoxious, right? Like 16, 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and also when I went to grad night, there was no parents.
You said you saw some parents. With
a lot of parents. There were a lot of parents there because, first of all, when we did grad night, we didn't get there. We left at 8 and got there at 10, and that's when it started.
8, got there at 10. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And then like there'd be all these buses pulling up, and then it was like 10 to, I don't know,
2 a.m.
2 or something. Yeah. And basically and it was like the staff was like a fourth, like 25% of what a normal staff was. Maybe even less than that, because none of the shops were actually open to buy stuff. And we would just be running around the park like it was like like Central Park in New York. Like it was just, Central Park in New York, and maybe like half the rides were open. And they had a dance party. So you're basically just running around trying to meet a girl, it was.
Oh, like from other high schools or something?
And you dressed up.
How many high schools are there at one day, you think?
I don't know, but I remember seeing a lot of buses. I mean, it was probably like 20 or 30 at least. And it was all at Disneyland. But this is before California Adventure even opened, I think. And so it was just.
I feel so bad for the cast members.
Yeah, but they didn't. There was no the cast members weren't responsible for anything. They were just responsible for nobody got hurt on a ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not that we were better kids because we were dressed and everybody was dressed in suits at grad night. everybody who went to grad night
because it's like a dance.
Yeah, it was like a prom.
Yeah.
It was basically like Disney prom, right? And so everyone had to wear a tie. And they put that in the brochures. Like, we expect you to dress.
So do girls wear dresses?
Yeah. Dresses are very nice, like pantsuits, dresses. Yeah. You're supposed to dress like
prom.
It was like a graduation party. And so, and that was the instructions from Disney. So everybody showed up dressed nice, and I wore a tie, I had a sports coat and pants, but
I skipped grad.
But our behavior is actual, like, were we better people?
Yeah, when you were other times of the year,
even at grad night, I don't even think we were better people. I think that there was no one else to annoy. Because we were polite around the adults, but as soon
after
as
10 or 9,
kids hooking up, behind Space Mountain, there were all kinds of stupid stuff. So I don't know. It was different times, but just different parameters, I guess. But I say congratulations to the class of 2022. Yes. I'm proud of you. My niece is a member of that class.
Yes. So what do kids in other states do on grad night? They don't get to go to Disneyland.
No, they don't even realize it exists.
There is no grad night.
Yeah, well, there's the prom.
Yeah,
my niece
prom.
went to prom, and then there's whatever parties the parents want to shell out money for. There's other amusement parks and stuff, and I mean, when she comes out here, I'm sure we'll take her to Disney.
Yeah.
She was taking a picture on a Porsche. I'm like, whose Porsche is that? I didn't get you that. I was like, hey, I don't know if they rented that for prom or whatever. I think one of the could be
parents.
One of the parents. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. So
that's so funny.
Yeah. Kiddos, but congratulations, class of 2022.
So grad night's running through June, because I know the next time we're at Disneyland, June 4th, when we're staying at Paris here, is another grad night.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So one of the cast members was telling me it's just practice for the summer, for the craziness of kids in the summer. So,
yeah. But I think also grad night is that extra energy, like, ooh, I'm here with all my friends.
Yeah.
Because you know how it's like exciting to have a friend to go anywhere with, and then and then it's an extra level if you have a friend to go to Disney with.
Yeah, it's like a field trip it's like a field trip at Disneyland, but at night.
But then it's an extra level because every other school. There's all these other schools there.
Other schools there.
It's like, oh, I'm going to meet this girl. I'm going to meet the guy. We're going to dress up super cute.
Yeah, they probably have the whole district go one day, like Anaheim district or
multiple
whatever.
districts, probably.
Yeah, but they'll be there with other schools in the same district.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's it's a handful. I feel bad for the cast members. That's the people I'm just like, man.
Yeah, we're thinking about you if you have the grad night shifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to be there till like 3 a.m. at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy. It's just exhausting.
Remember when Disney was open 24 hours?
Oh, those nights?
That would have been this weekend because it's usually Memorial Day, Saturday. Yeah, it was open 24 hours. It was so crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. Cray.
They put a stop to that. Okay, so anyways, we also went on Rise of the Resistance for the first time in a few months. Like November was the last time we went.
Was it? Okay.
When we went with my mom.
Oh, yeah.
And then ever since they offered Lightning Lane, we stopped. And when we finally shelled out the money to...
Yeah, I was like, I'm never going to pay it. We've already went on it I think it was 9 times.
Yeah.
And so this was our 10th time. And I was just like... since it opened. And actually, that's a lot because there's
Yeah.
times that people just don't get it. And there's times, you know.
The people who've been on it once.
Yeah. So there's people who've never been on it who've gone to Disney a lot. And they're just like, ugh. But I wanted to kind of do it. Well, for one, there was a lot of rides that were broken down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just kind of like, well, this is a good excuse to try to at least tell people what the experience was like actually purchasing it a la carte.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
You know, and
That's
so,
a good point.
so I did it. And I got to tell you, I before this, I was thinking, man, what a horrible deal when we used to get on it just, you know, through hook or crook, you know. But
You mean virtual queue?
yeah, through either a virtual queue. Well, it's always been some type of virtual queue.
Yeah.
But like, you know, there used to be you had to get there before 8 and then blah, 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 blah. Then we used to do that. And then it changed to like
At 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
Anywhere.
And then
that was even harder
at noon.
Because now you're competing with everybody.
But I got to tell you, for the ride that Rise of the Resistance is, it's hard for me to say this. Might be worth it.
No, it is worth it.
It might be worth it. At least our experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because we went through the lightning lane, which I never went through that part. I didn't even know what it was for.
Yeah, that was never open.
Yeah. And so they just let us in. We scanned our badges. We walked right into the Ray presentation.
Yep.
And then there's Ray.
Because I thought we'd have to wait a little. Because even with Radiator
Dude,
Springs,
with Goofy Sky School, you have to wait.
Yeah.
This thing, you would just we walked right in, met Ray, and then got right on. It was a trip. It was like that quick. It was literally as fast as we could walk was the time we got onto the ride.
Yeah.
And I've never been on Rise of the Resistance that fast. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think it's possible to be faster unless we just happen to sprint. You know, yeah, it might be worth it. You know, and I hate saying that because I thought the whole a la carte thing is a cash grab, but if the rest of the park is just clogged and
yeah, because Pirates was closed, Indiana Jones was temporarily down, Matterhorn was temporarily down, and I think Thunder Mountain too.
Everything was down.
It was just everyone was going to Hyperspace Mountain because, of course, it's May and it's Star Wars month. So we still didn't go on that yet. But, I mean, we've been on it before. But, you know, this year we haven't gone on Hyperspace. We just thought, well, I mean, we had to wait. Like, it was 11 and we had to come back at 4 or something p.m. to get on it, and we're like, forget that, because that will lock up our Genie Plus for 2 hours. You know, so we didn't want to do that.
Yeah, for Hyperspace, yeah. But yeah, this was. Now here's the thing: if you have a family of 5, it's $100.
Yeah.
So I can see why some people are like, ugh, you know, you already dropped. And there's this whole article. I mean, you know, Fox News is right now fighting with Disney, you know, because they're pro DeSantis, and they did this whole article about how expensive it is now for the average family. And I'm like, well, the average family probably, they're like, can the average working family go to Disney? I'm like, you know, I don't think the average working family could have gone to Disney since, you know, the 80s. Honestly, I mean, if you wanted me to be truthful.
Yeah, if you raise the minimum wage, yes, they can. But since you don't raise the minimum wage, then no, they can't. So don't blame it on Disney.
Yeah. Well, they were interviewing people who actually went to Disney, and they were saying how much it costs, and I'm just like, yeah, it's expensive. You know, it's not something that, you know, but I could see somebody who's already paid thousands of bucks, like another 100. You know, like I can see that exasperation.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like when my friend Shayna went, remember? So she's a family of 4, but she took her mom and her sister, so family of 6. And then I told her, okay, there's Genie Plus, but then if you want to go on Rise, it's another $20. She's like, oh man, I'm gonna be broke. She's like, because I had to pay for the tickets, the Airbnb, the Uber. then it's like, oh yeah, there's also Genie Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, do I get to ride that Star Wars thing? Oh no, that's another $20. It's like, oh man. But I mean, once in a while, she's fine with it. She's just like, ugh, like she's like, okay, what else do I have to pay for? Well, you have to buy food there, right? So.
Yeah, I wonder. It's like I don't know. There was something I was thinking about kind of starting because I have that organization. Well, it's not an organization. It's basically me and Sean. But fightingchancesandiego.org, where I get kids into martial arts who are foster kids or high-risk kids. But I'm wondering if there's something, and this again comes from my social work background, that we could do to where, like, maybe poor families, or maybe because I know families who've been in domestic violence shelters, and it's like a mom and like maybe she has 2 or 3 kids, and like treat them to Disney, since that add up. And then the only reason it's like, and I could see like people's like, well, they probably need a lot more than Disney, they need other stuff, but to me it's kind of like,
but that's something they haven't. We'll never get a chance to experience, I guess, right?
Well, not, I'm not going to say never.
But
no, that's not.
It's something that.
But it's something that it's an escape.
Escape, yeah.
It's something that I use as an escape. And if I can use it for me, like, why wouldn't I want to share that, So, and I think other people who are Disney fans might want to do the same. And it's not like, and if we can get it. Yeah, and you always start small, right? It's like okay, maybe we do it with one family a year starting out, and it's just us, and then other families want to join and whatever. But
we'd have to take them because Disneyland is not.
No,
it's
it's the whole thing. It's the whole nine, dude. It's the up like there and back.
Mom take those like, dude, why are you giving me this responsible work?
No, it's not that. It would be we would be there. We would be the plaid vests.
Yeah.
And we would even help them with their kids. Or maybe sometimes there's parents who have special needs kids. And all their income goes into that, taking care of the kid. They just don't have extra money for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, and it gives the parents a break, if the kid is able to be, kind of watched by us, while they go on freaking Rise of the Resistance. That's a good day for them. So I don't see why that's not a possibility. So I don't know. There's something I'll be kicking around with some of my boys, or
you could start small by getting them like the family Cinépolis tickets to see a Disney movie first, and then
Yeah.
Like,
you can always take baby steps.
Cinépolis type of movies,
but that's easy. I've actually already done that. I just never advertised it.
Well, that's more relaxing for the moms. Start them small because I think.
I used to do that for when I was working for the county. I used to do that for foster moms because back then Cinépolis was the only one offering assigned seating. Now a lot of theaters do.
Yeah.
But just imagine having foster kids, like 5 foster kids.
Yeah.
And then going into an AMC,
and
then
dark.
It's not just that it's dark. It's just that, like, first of all, if you have 5 kids, especially foster kids, you're going to be late. Yeah. You're not going to be on time.
Yeah,
you're gonna miss the previews.
Right.
And so you get there, and if it's a hit movie, if it's like you're going to see like a Marvel movie, good luck finding 5 seats in a row.
Right.
That's 6 seats counting you.
Yeah, that's not all the way in the front like this. Yeah. Like,
even then, if it's like a big movie, like a blockbuster, So I would say I would just buy like 5. Well, sometimes we get donated, but then sometimes I would just buy them. And
then their popcorn can be sent to them because when you go and then you have to buy popcorn first and then go get a seat and then all this stuff.
Yeah. But no, I only did that like 4 or 5 times. Well, 3 times they were donated, and then I think I purchased them myself like twice. But little things like that, like it doesn't seem like a big deal to people who can afford it.
Yeah, but
to somebody who can't afford that, they're like, whoa,
yeah, that's a big deal.
So yeah. And that's something, I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but Maybe I'm just thinking about kids today, I guess.
Yeah.
And you hating on teenagers. No. Joking.
I hate teenagers. Yeah. I don't hate them. They're just annoying. I'm sure they're good kids.
So, yeah. But, the Genie Plus, the Goofy Plus.
That's what it should be called. Huh?
Goofy Plus. I know. If it was called Goofy Plus, I bet it'd sell better. This is goofy, but I'll buy it. No, Genie Plus was still working, even though it was like crowded and it was, a lot of stuff was broken down. We still got our, rides in. We went after Rise of Resistance. We went on Toy Story, went on Goofy Sky School, Monsters Inc.
We did go on the Matterhorn.
Oh, we went on the Matterhorn. Yeah, forgot about that. When it opened up, that Lightning Lane was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was long. And everyone was like so confused. Like,
everyone's like, is this the
line?
Yeah.
Like, yes, that's
it was all the way down.
You want this line that's 15 minutes or you want the other line that's 75?
Yeah. That was a crazy long Lightning Lane, And you could tell that staffing issues can still affect like how quick people get on rides.
Yeah.
Because, or at least how long the lines are. Because there's always somebody who's having trouble with scanning the Lightning Lane pass. Like, and if it's like, because there was like a group of people and it's like they showed up too early or something.
Oh,
it's like, when people do that. And sometimes, it's just a brain fart. Or it didn't show up in time or whatever it is, right? Or maybe they just have like a weird phone that doesn't reflect, because sometimes some people get the tinted screen protectors, and so it doesn't scan. So you kind of have to like angle it and do all this stuff. And so, but that one person trying to scan in their family and if nobody's attending to them, because what happens is that they used to have like somebody covering each pylon for the Fast Pass.
Yeah.
Now it's like one person, and they're even being called away to do other stuff sometimes, and they're kind of looking over here, they're looking over here. And so somebody's like stuck doing this, and then it's like, there's 30 people behind them. And it's like, they just don't have enough staff, because usually the staff person will be like, hey, now like at Radiator Springs Racers, like rides like that, they have enough staff. But like Matterhorn, there was like one person, and then somebody else had to come up and be like, okay, what's the problem? Okay. And then the line started moving. Yeah. But they had to pull that person who was actually getting people on the ride. Yeah. To, which is probably a safety measure, to have more people there to actually help move the line. Yeah. So you could tell staffing issues are still an issue.
Yeah. I did write something for the first time, which is Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, you said you never wrote it.
Nope, it doesn't look familiar at all, unless I did when I was a kid and I don't remember.
Yeah.
It looked new.
Because you remember last episode, I had to promise her to take her on that ride. Because she was making a big stink about it.
It said 40 minutes, but we were only there 25. 23 minutes. We were only in line for 23 minutes, even though it said 40 minutes. Yeah. And it was cool, and I learned something new that... you know how it's a 2-story ride in the second story? Below it is Mr. Toad. So
that's what it was named. And I like the fact, and I think I've ridden it before. It's just been so long I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it was
it was weird because we thought it was over when we went out.
And then it goes into that last
dark
part.
Ride. Yeah. But then you do at the end go outside. And you're thinking you're going outside to go...
To finish.
To exit. But then it goes back indoors, upstairs, and it continues. Yeah. You said it had an end credit.
Yeah. It had an end credit scene.
And it was the tea party. The Mad Hatter's tea party.
Yeah. And that ride, it's weird because that ride, a lot of those Fantasyland rides, they still hold up.
Yeah.
Because you can't really say... that Monsters Inc. is that much better.
No, I think I like Alice in Wonderland. That's my favorite ride now.
Favorite ride.
You get to see the rabbit. You get to see the evil queen and those cards marching around.
Oh, recency bias much? Huh? Is it recency bias much? No.
Yeah, maybe. Chester Cat. everything.
Yeah, you're like a little kid.
Well, I didn't think Snow White was that great, but I liked Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. It was really well constructed, and that's an old ride. So yeah, it still holds up. So what else did we do? Oh, I ended up copying you and getting the Iridescent Jersey.
Yes, that blue one with the gold.
We'll show. People seen pictures of you in it, but
yeah, the last trip I wore it, but you had to one-up me and go get it embroidered, the magic key embroidered onto it.
Under my Mickey. No.
And
it's
we got that idea from Xander. And he got that idea from another cast member who sold it to him.
Yeah.
Who was like, they were like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, embroider the magic key, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like, all right. So, yeah. So then he told us, and then we're like, okay, let's do it. Well, it has to be with the tag on it and the receipt. So unworn with the receipt. So basically they said, when you buy it, just go straight to the embroidery place.
Which is what we did.
Yeah. So I couldn't do mine because I was wearing mine, so obviously it's worn. But yeah, basically once you buy it, go straight to an embroidery place and they'll embroider it, and you get to pick the color of the magic key, so whatever matches, the writing on your jersey. And usually it takes only a few minutes, but this time it took like longer because, like I said, the kids, the teens were picking out their class of 2022 and what font and all that stuff. So it took, they said to come back in an hour, but usually it doesn't take that long.
It probably didn't take that long. Probably took like 15 minutes.
And it was so cheap. It was like $8.
$8.61, including tax. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So if you see me walking around with my symbol of office, my key, Had
I known that, I would have gotten my hat embroidered. That hat would be perfect with the key on the side. But too late now because I've already wore it.
Yep. So sad.
I'm the one who told you that idea. You never pay attention to what I say.
Yeah, we went on Monsters Inc. and then came back and the jersey was ready. So it was cool. All right. So one of the reasons, CNN did this, but I think
so did Disneyland News today.
Yeah, but they got it from CNN.
Oh, I see.
But they talked about revenge travel, and I just wanted to just touch on it because I think that's why a lot of the parks are so crowded, and I think a lot of people are agreeing on that. And I think I didn't have a name for it, but I think we've talked about that on.
We talked about it before when Yosemite, like all the national parks, were packed and sold out. Hawaii was like packed, but yeah, it's called revenge travel. There's a term for it.
People want to get back at the lockdowns, the shutdowns, and so now they're going out and they're spending more than they would have if there had been no lockdowns. That's basically what it is, and they're going out more frequently. And so now if somebody was like, oh yeah, I'll go, we might go to Disney, we might spend $2,500. Now they're dropping $5,000 because it's like, well, I don't know. I'm going to do it when I can do it because I didn't get to do it last year.
Yeah.
So
we're making up for it.
Yeah. So if you guys think that it's not going to be crowded, like I don't expect it to be crowded. Just expect it to be crowded.
Yeah.
Because revenge is in the air. And we'll be going to Star Wars Celebration, and hopefully we'll have some good picks. You have to wear masks inside, so I don't know how that's going to work with like the meet and greets and the pictures. It's going to be weird. I actually don't care if I'm wearing a mask, but like if I'm paying to take a picture with a celebrity, like how does that work? Like, do they wear a mask? And then what about all the people who are like want to dress up and do? It's gonna like ruin their costumes.
Well, unless you're like,
but I mean,
dark side,
like,
you kind of have.
It has to be an approved mask. So let's say you're going, and you want to wear. So like for example, like the 501st is the famous, cosplayers that all the stormtroopers. They even use them in the Mandalorian. That's how good they are. And so if you're wearing a stormtrooper helmet, is that considered a mask?
Well, according to the website, a costume mask is not an approved mask.
Right.
It has to be the thing behind your ear.
So you have to take your helmet off
and put on your,
and then put the helmet
or
back
you have
on.
to leave your mask on and put
Yeah,
the
but how?
helmet
But
over
if
it.
okay, but then and
How
again,
do they know
now
if you're
now
wearing a mask or not?
Now I'm giving like anti-masker arguments, but I'm just saying
yeah,
for
I'm
this
just
particular
curious.
event,
Yeah.
like if I see a storm, are they going to like? Because once the stormtrooper's inside, he's going to have his helmet on. So are you going to make him unmask to check him?
Know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
It's just
That's just what it says on the website. I don't know.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Probably not going to enforce it.
Well, I don't know. It's Anaheim.
What's the conventions? I don't know if it's the rule of the convention center or the rule of the event.
Yeah.
Definitely not Anaheim. They don't care. They have their own problems right now, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, but now we're going to get into...
It's Taste Talk with Tracey. Mash some magic in your mouth.
Okay, so let's see if I can pronounce this. Sandianada hard float, which is watermelon hard float. And it is from Clarabelle's in DCA, and it's watermelon habanero hard cider, a scoop of watermelon sorbet, fresh watermelon, handmade tamarindo sauce, and chili lime seasoning. It sounds like it'll give you heartburn, and it did. Give me heartburn. It was good, but not worth it to get heartburn good. It was like instant heartburn.
And then you kept eating spicy stuff the rest of the day.
Like what?
I don't know, but you
I
could...
didn't eat hot link corn dog. You did.
No, but you were eating other stuff.
Oh, I had the bulgogi burrito, but that wasn't spicy.
You like spicy stuff, and then you complain about heartburn.
No, but that particular one, I eat spicy stuff that doesn't give me instant heartburn. This did because of the alcohol and the lime and the because it was like spicy, alcohol, bubbly because it was hard cider.
Okay, but did you like it?
I liked it, but,
Okay.
but not worth the heartburn.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to have heartburn, I'd rather get like the mango chili Dole Whip or something. So.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was pretty good. You know, it wasn't as good as that thing that I had over at in Hollywoodland with the chamoy.
Oh, the
chamoy michelada thing.
Yeah, that one was good. Yeah.
This was like okay.
This was okay. I just looked refreshing because of the big watermelon, but
yeah,
I mean, just eat watermelon.
I think that's just a black tap marketing trick. You know, you just put something,
Yeah.
a big piece of food on it, and it looks
Yeah.
cool, and somebody will buy it for the gram. You know, but yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I would get the other hard float there again because they have like 4 different hard floats. I had the Guinness one with the ice cream in it, like a float. There's like an orange soda, hard orange soda float. So those are good too. This one was just seasonal because it is watermelon season.
Well, again, I think a lot of people will like it. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people won't like it. So that's why I'm giving it an okay.
Yeah, if you like watermelon, you'll like it. If you're not a watermelon person like Brian, you won't.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate watermelon. It was just,
You just think it's all water and wasted calories because it's water and sugary.
yeah. But I like watermelon flavored candies and stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fine,
You think eating a watermelon? It's like
yeah.
wasted calories. Like, why waste your calories on something that's just watery?
All right. Now it's time for
Avengers Campus is opening at Disneyland Paris July 20th, and everyone is excited about that in Paris. And they have a ride that we don't have, which is Avengers Assemble Flight Force. It looks like a roller coaster, according to the pictures. But it has Iron Man, Captain Marvel in it. And then, of course, Web Slingers, which is similar to ours.
Yeah. Yeah, we only have one ride because they won't finish the other one. So
Well, they count Guardians as the second ride. I know.
Whatever.
But yeah, they said that ride, what was it? The
Quinjet?
The Quinjet ride is on hold because of budgeting issues or whatever. Funding issues.
Thought you were killing it.
I know. And then the other thing, major news, is the mayor of Anaheim, Harry Sidhu, has resigned. because he's facing a federal corruptions investigation alleging that he sought to wring campaign donations from the baseball stadium negotiations. So I know not Disney. I don't know who owns it right now, but they've been trying for years to sell Angel Stadium to a buyer. Because you know how before
well,
it was
they had
Edison
something in the
Field.
documents about some different issues in the corruption probe, and they kept mentioning Company A. They call it Company A, like the letter A. Mm-hmm. Company A did this. Company, this person altered their speech due to Company A's advice, and da-da-da.
Oh, I see.
And everyone's like, just say Disney. What other company in Anaheim is going to have that kind of pull?
Are they trying to sell it to Disney?
I don't know if they are directly related to the stadium or not. But there's a lot of other issues because you know how corruption probes go. It starts with one thing and then it spreads like a spider web.
Yeah.
So, like, there's this one guy. I don't know if it's the mayor or this other city council person who was doing this shell game with money, and then all of a sudden he ends up with a house in Big Bear. Oh. It's like, dude, you're like city council person for Anaheim. You make less than the Starbucks barista. Like, how do you get a house in Big Bear?
Yeah, the thing I read was only specifically talking about the mayor. So he was not forced, but he resigned as of yesterday, I think. And we're just wondering how this will affect the Disneyland Forward project.
A lot, and then I tell you why. Because they named this Disney executive. Well, the actual court documents in the feds didn't, but there's some journalists who found out there was this one Disney person who's in charge of what is it called, external projects or something like that for Disneyland, who's an executive that's named in the probe or something, but they just said a business company A executive or something. So I think Disney was trying to grease some wheels, and so now this is what's sad: the fact that it's not going to be corrupt as much anymore because now the spotlight is on Anaheim. They're probably harder to get Disney for
stuff approved. Yeah.
So if it was hard before, it's gonna be harder now. So I'm not saying I'm pro corruption. I'm just saying. No.
Need to bring Reedy Creek here.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why they did Reedy Creek.
That's what I'm saying. Bring it here. If Florida's like, no, okay, well, start your own governing body and make it like sub Anaheim.
It's too late. They should have done it. I mean, honestly, because when Disneyland was first built, it was in Orange Grove, and all this residential stuff built up around it.
Yeah.
So it's not like Disney came into a neighborhood and started bossing people around. A neighborhood built up around Disney and started bossing Disney around. Yeah. That's how, and I think a lot of people get it flipped from the chronological standpoint, right? Like, he probably should have just kept buying land. Yeah. To where it was so much land. I mean, it probably didn't make financial sense for him at the time, but he probably thought he had enough land because he couldn't imagine what was going to be 2022, right?
Because there wasn't a Disney World yet, so he didn't think that would be possible to build something as big as Disney World.
Why would somebody build an apartment complex next to Disneyland? It's like that's what he's thinking, and it's like no.
I remember when I was a kid and Disney expanded, and there was this. I don't know, the news. When you're a kid, the news is on, but you're not paying attention. But kind of heard something about Disney trying to buy all these houses around it to expand. And there were maybe like always one or two residents, right? That's like, no, I'm not selling my home or whatever. No matter what money they offered. And it was they were kind of stuck or something. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the mob works. The mafia used to like chase people out of their homes and stuff. No, it's weird because most of the things I would say that are materialistic in nature that we enjoy were gotten through ill-gotten means. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a sad truth, but no, I mean I don't think we should force people out of their homes, but but I'm sure nowadays give somebody $1
Just
million.
name the price.
Yeah, you give them money, and it would have to be a deal. And what you do is you don't have to get it illegally. You just say, hey, we'll give you this crazy price for your home, but it's only good if all your neighbors agree. So then they fight and you just stand back. That's that horrible way to do it, but at least that's a legal way to do it. So yeah. I don't know. We got anything else?
That is it.
That's it. Well, this was kind of a short podcast, short episode, but we'll be back next week with some really cool stuff from Star Wars Celebration, hopefully, with the giveaway winner. We'll be drawing a winner Sunday. And since it'll be June.
Yeah. Well, I'll be back at the parks with my sister on the 31st, and I'll have the wallet with me.
If you can find Tracey on the 31st, tackle her.
Yeah, and my sister's a millennial, so I'm like, can you do a TikTok so people can find us? So, hey, people might find us. Because she's funny. A millennial who can do TikToks and stuff.
Yeah. So, we'll see. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see if that works. So, yeah, check us out, ropedroppingknowledge.com. If you listen to us on Spotify or iTunes, Apple, leave us a ranking, leave us a review, and we will see you guys next week. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracey.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.